Hi, my name is Hanna. International entrepreneurs, investors, and expats have traditionally focused on top-tier global cities like London and New York. In recent years, however, another group of mercantile and financial centers have arisen. They reproduce, on a regional basis, the features and functions of the prime global cities. Today, we want to talk about Dubai, Miami, and Singapore, three cities which emerged during the first quarter of the 21st century as new regional power centers in our global economy. Which one is right for you? Let's find out. So let's talk about regional financial centers. All our clients at htj.tax do business in multiple jurisdictions. So do we. Our company started in Miami, way back in 1997. Since then, we've expanded to Singapore and Dubai. Each office services clients in their respective regions. Based in the UK, the Globalization and World Cities Research Network is a think tank that studies the relationships between world cities in the context of globalization. According to their index, Alpha++ cities are the most integrated cities in the global economy, and there are only two cities that have this very high rank. Guess which cities they are? Give up? The answer is, of course, London and New York. Below Alpha++ would be Alpha+ cities. This level includes Dubai and Singapore. Below Alpha are Beta+ cities, and this rank includes Miami. Those of you who have lived or done business in these three cities may agree that they have a lot in common. Let's talk about 4 things that Dubai, Miami, and Singapore have in common. Number 1. Ports. The port of Singapore is ranked as the world's second busiest port, second to Shanghai, in terms of total shipping tonnage. It also transships a third of the world's shipping containers, half of the world's annual supply of crude oil, and is the world's busiest transshipment port. The Port Miami is the only logistical hub in the Caribbean capable of handling fully laden post-Panamax vessels up to 22 containers wide. As such, it is the natural entry point for hemispheric trade, playing a role similar to Singapore in Southeast Asia. More importantly, Miami is the largest cruise or passenger port in the world, hosting more cruise ships than any other port in the world. Dubai is one of the 7 emirates making up the United Arab Emirates. It is located near the strategically important Strait of Hormuz and faces the Persian Gulf to the west. The UAE port network would collectively be ranked among the top 10 in the world. Number 2. Airlines. An important element in any financial center is connectivity by air. Dubai is the primary international airport serving the United Arab Emirates and is the world's busiest airport by international passenger traffic. It is also the 19th busiest airport in the world by passenger traffic, one of the busiest cargo airports in the world, the busiest airport for Airbus A380 and Boeing 777 movements, and the airport with the highest average number of passengers per flight. Dubai's Emirates Airlines is the world's 4th largest airline by scheduled revenue passenger kilometers flown and the 2nd largest in terms of freight ton kilometers flown. Impressive. But we would expect nothing less from Dubai. What about Singapore? Singapore's Changi Airport focuses on quality over quantity. For 2019, it was the 7th busiest airport by international passenger traffic in the world and the 3rd busiest in Asia. In addition to being an important passenger hub, the airport is also one of the busiest cargo airports in the world. The airport has won over 620 awards since its opening, including 28 Best Airport Awards in 2019 alone. Flag carrier Singapore Airlines has a similar focus on quality over quantity. It has been ranked as the world's best airline by Skytrax 4 times and topped Travel and Leisure's best airline rankings for more than 20 years. Miami International Airport, MIA, has played a similar role in keeping Miami connected. American Airlines is probably the biggest player for Latin America and the Caribbean and enjoys 68% market share at MIA. MIA is the largest U.S. airport in terms of freight tonnage. As you would expect, MIA plays a similar hub role for the Western Hemisphere as Shanghai Airport does for South Asia. Similarly, the Dubai Airport does the same for the Middle East and Africa. Number 3. Banking. Another key convergence is the role of all 3 cities as centers for banks and other financial entities. As a geographical location, Miami plays an obvious role as a sea and air hub, but its emergence as a financial center was not driven by government but by private actors. Today, the Brickell Financial District boasts the largest concentration of international banks in the US and the second largest bank concentration on the East Coast, next only to New York. The bulk of financial transactions in Miami involve partners in Latin America, although the traffic is not exclusively north-south. A number of Western European banks have also headquartered their hemispheric operations in Miami. Its role as a global finance center again parallels that played by Singapore and to a larger extent Dubai in their respective regions. It is noteworthy that the promotion of the financial sector in Singapore and Dubai is government-led, while Miami is driven by the private sector. Yet, despite these differences, the 3 cities have all succeeded in attracting increasing trade and capital flows and persuading players in the international economy that they are the places to be. The influence of these 3 cities extends to commercial and capital transactions in their broader regions, affecting the neighboring states and private companies in their respective hinterlands. Number 4. Tourism. Tourism is important to all 3 cities. The Persian Gulf or Arabian Sea, the Atlantic and Indian Oceans endow them with pristine beaches joined by a warm, year-round tropical climate. Dubai is building the largest man-made islands and largest hotels in the world, all marketed toward wealthy foreign visitors and investors. Singapore has the huge Marina Bay Sands casino and hotel complex rivaling Macau in China and catering to wealthy foreigners. Miami receives upwards of 35 million tourists annually and is the cruise ship capital of the world. Unlike Singapore, however, Miami has so far resisted gambling as a major tourist attraction. Now that we've explained 4 important factors that make these 3 dynamic cities successful centers for business, let's talk about you, your business, your career, and your investments. What does this all mean for you? Here's our perspective. There are newly minted international business advisors who are obsessed with advising clients to flee to low-tax emerging markets. They imagine these as up-and-coming jurisdictions. We believe that they are very misguided. A look at the world map today may lead some to conclude that there are cities that approach this emerging global city position. There are much larger cities like Jakarta, Sao Paulo, Buenos Aires, Mexico City, Cairo, etc., but their economic and political influence is confined to their respective nation-states, and not to an entire region of the world economy. Landlocked cities are disqualified by their lack of ports, and hence the impossibility of serving as hubs for maritime commercial traffic. What about strategically located coastal cities? Consider the case of Panama City. Strategically located next to the canal linking the 2 largest oceans and right in the midst of the Americas, Panama has deliberately attempted to imitate Miami by taking advantage of its enviable geographic location and climate. It has promoted tourism like Miami and the economic free trade zone model of Dubai. Yet Panama and other contenders for global city status have been hampered by one thing: trust. Major international banks and global corporations need the rule of law, an efficient common law legal system, and a long tradition of political instability. Now you understand why the so-called up-and-coming cities continue to struggle. The Panama Free Zone has a tax-free, light-touch regulatory framework and has attracted a large number of financial operators to it. Yet, serving as a tax haven is not the same as coordinating and centralizing decision-making for large international banks and multinational corporations. So the truth is that Panama's status in the global capitalist system remains that of a flag of convenience rather than a genuine command and control hub. On the other side of the world, Hong Kong is also an interesting case study. For years, Hong Kong had all the attributes of a regional global city, being second only to Tokyo in Asia. However, the status of Hong Kong was contingent on the maintenance of British common law, British-based protection of financial transactions, and property rights. Now its status as a legally reliable financial and commercial center is in doubt. Banks, corporations, and international law offices are leaving. So, what is our advice? Look beyond taxation. Consider soft factors such as reliable banking, access to the right sector-specific ecosystem, an efficient legal system, networking events, deep talent pools, and experienced advisory firms. If you are serious about doing business in Latin America and the Caribbean, Miami is your hub. If you are serious about doing business in the Middle East and Africa, Dubai is your hub. If you're serious about doing business in South Asia, Singapore is your hub. Let us know if you have questions on migration, incorporation, or taxation in these 3 cities. We have thousands of free international tax articles on our website, htj.tax. Check it out. If you are a 6, 7, or 8-figure cross-border investor, entrepreneur, or business owner who needs a tailor-made solution from a qualified team of professionals, we can help you achieve the international lifestyle, the freedom, and even the tax savings you are looking for. My name is Hanna, part of the team at htj.tax.